All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to TrainWorld Facebook Live. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. And tonight we have a very special guest and a action-packed, jam-packed lineup tonight with a bunch of stuff going on tonight. Larry Harrington from Bachmann Trains. How are you doing, Larry?
Doing great, Ken. Thanks for having me back. It just seems like less than 2 weeks we were talking about trains. It's always good to talk about trains, though, isn't it?
That's it. And we got a lot of people on tonight. Spider fans excited about it.
All right.
Where is everybody out tonight? I see some people from Australia. So a lot of people joining us and lots of views. So we appreciate everyone joining us.
Person in Australia's up pretty early. It's I don't think 6 a.m. there or something like
that. Yeah, up early. And go Larry. The Larry.
There we go. Thank you. Thanks for that.
From Brooklyn. So Texas. Trains are fun. How we doing, Joe?
There you go.
Got Pittsburgh.
John Deere fan there.
Wow, people from all over York, PA,
Pennsylvania. Maybe we'll go back there one day.
By Oregon. Oh, I can't keep up.
There we go. Good job. England. Whoa. Hi, Max.
Yep. So people from all over Kansas City, North Carolina. Oh boy.
Anybody from Maryland out there, guys?
No, not yet. California,
okay.
UK, San Diego, go Bachmann Trains, another Australia. All right. Well,
it's great to see all of our fans out there.
Yes. Great to see everyone. Don't forget New Jersey. Yes.
Yeah, so don't forget New Jersey, everybody.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and glad everybody's joining us right now, getting everybody on board. We're doing YouTube Live and Facebook Live all at the same time, so everybody could see all at once. And we're excited, Larry, and he's got tons of
stuff to show you.
Products, stuff that's coming in, announcements, just he's got it all. So I'm going to kick it off to Larry, and I believe you're going to start off with stuff that's shipping
either in stock or almost in stock. Well, I have a few things here. Just a sampling of stuff. You should have many of these things in stock, or they'll be there in the next week or so, I believe. So, it's like Christmas here every week. I get packages in my house, and all the new stuff comes in as the production samples come in. We check them, and first of all, I get pre-production samples to make sure they're right. And then when we finally go in production, I get a production sample and approve it. And then the shipment actually leaves and comes over to us. So,
okay.
So I do have a lot of things that, recently we've gotten in. One thing, I want to start with our HO line. We got a few things here. These things are really hot sellers right now. The poultry cars, we have 4 different ones of these. You see that okay on the screen there? You got chickens inside. And we got, I'll back it up a little bit so it focuses a little better, but it's Live Poultry Transportation Company. We have, I think, 4 different versions of these. These should be in stock at TrainWorld now.
Yeah.
Right, Ken? Yeah, very good. So that's one of the new rolling stocks we have. Another one just hitting the store should be is the High Cube box car. This is the Santa Fe version.
Very nice.
Shock control. We added this version. We added operating doors. So that's an improvement over the last production run we've done. These have some great graphics on there, if you can see all this fine printing on there. And so they just came in. I think they've been in a couple weeks in stock. These I don't think are in stock yet, but they should be soon. These are your test weight cars. They're kind of unique little car. Yeah. Very heavy. They're die cast. We got 4. Trying to get my fingers out of the way here. They're too small. There we go.
Those are really neat because you guys, I believe, are pretty much the only ones who've ever done it in HO scale.
I'm not sure about that, but I think we're the only one on the market right now with them.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I know they've been made in brass, and I think one other manufacturer may have made one in the past. But we're trying to hit all the railroads. I mean, everybody, if they have a yard, they needed one of these to test their scale. So they would test their accuracy of their scale because they get paid by the pound, right? So one of the new ones this year is New York Central, so that should be a big fan for the New York fans out there. We did Milwaukee Road, New York Central, Santa Fe, and Pennsylvania this year. So one of the things with those, we don't anticipate that, if you see it, buy it, because we're going to constantly change the road name on that particular rolling stock.
Just a shout out to Carter. Sorry.
Hey, hi Carter. How are you doing? So once you see your road name under that test weight car or scale test car, you should grab it, because it may not be back for a while. So
yeah.
So I think we have like 8 different paint schemes available for that right now.
Very neat. And that's HO scale, right?
HO scale, yeah, only an HO scale at this point. We're adding on to our streamlined passenger car series. We announced these last year at NMRA, and they're starting to come in now. I'll show you this. This is the Pennsylvania baggage car. So all the road names that we had available for in the other car styles, the coach and the observation, and we have the baggage as well. So we're expanding that series, make your train longer. So your passengers can have some bags, but take along for their trip. And maybe the only way we're traveling is by train, right?
Yeah.
So,
yep.
ACS 64. These were super hot last year. It's still pretty hot. This was the mobility scheme. We have operating pantographs. And this was one of the first paint schemes that was on the ACS 64. One of the first, 602 is the number. You can see that nose there. It's got all the great features of the wow sound decoder. We'll be featuring the wow sound decoder in the Charger. I'll talk about that later in the show. And so they're in stock at TrainWorld. I know that. So we also
was really popular when they first came out. The ACS 64s, the electric locomotives, just really neat, and it's something current on the rails.
Right. It is, and we also have matching Amfleet cars to go along with the Northeast Corridor cars. So we also feature that new road names in that new road number. We did Amtrak, I believe, in 668, and a new SEPTA paint scheme, which I can't remember the number. It was 05 was the last two digits. So you can have your bigger roster of engines in your fleet. Oh, these should be coming in soon too. Here we go. Manhattan Brewing Company. How about that, Ken? Right for you.
Very nice.
It's our reefer cleaning car, right? So it's got the cleaning pad on the bottom. It pivots around when it goes around the track. Gets all the curves.
Everybody needs a track cleaning car.
Everybody needs a track cleaning car. We have this in 3 different styles. We have the 40-foot woodside reefer. We also have the 40-foot box car, and we have a single dome tank car. So you can always stick it in a consist somewhere and not have the same exact car for your train. You can have different ones, different eras, and all that good stuff. So
actually, Larry, if you don't mind, I'm going to write down the track cleaning car for the Manhattan to send it out in an email. That's really sharp looking.
Yeah. If you don't have a picture, I'll send it along to you.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's see what else we got. Oh, don't forget the Amtrak. We have the add-on cars for the Acela. This is the business quiet coach.
Very nice.
There's 3 different cars available. There's the end shot of the car. Lots of detail. There's
very cool.
Couple up with it. I mean, we have the set. The set comes with the cars that are unique to the cafe car. And then the coaches are sold separately, so you can get the full size and sell a Encore train if you need it. So. Okay, 0-30. We did the trench engine. We also did some matching freight cars to go along with that. So these are the
trench engine is probably one of your best 0-30 engines, has to be ever. I mean, the amount of pre-orders we took on that engine were phenomenal.
That's great
stuff.
Again, that was a wow sound project. That was the first engine that featured their Chufffinity feature, which gives a varying chuff rate depending on chuff intensity, depending on the load of the engine, if it's going up or down a hill. It's really unique to that locomotive. But we've also introduced that since then with this is the green one that goes with the quartermaster set. That's and also the box car. So So there we go.
And then I have a good question. Model Train wants to know, what is Owen 30?
What is Owen 30? Okay, I can explain that pretty easily. Owen 30 is O scale, but it rides on HO gauge track. Now, people say gauge scale, they're the same. They're not the same. The gauge is the width of the track. So a HO gauge is 1 to 87 scale. O gauge is 1 to 48 scale. But if you notice that this car, let's try to get the angle right here, hangs over significantly over the trucks.
Right.
So they're made for sometimes temporary railroads or logging railroads where the curves are tight, and that's where narrow gauge started with that. We also have a narrow gauge in our Thomas line, which we'll be talking about later.
Yeah.
So actually, I won't be talking about it, but I'll send you a video with that. So that's one product video I wanted to show you. You should have these in stock too, and this is the DCC turntable. We did the turntable before, but this was the first time we did it in DCC. So I'm going to share my screen here. Give me 1 second.
This is N scale or H?
This is HO. This is HO, and it's DCC equipped. So you can. I'll show you with the video here. I'll explain it as it's running.
Very cool.
Okay, this is our turntable. As you see, it's got multiple tracks that connects to it. We've programmed this on DCC to address number 1, and when he was demonstrating you can turn the turntable to different positions when it's on number 1, that he's doing now. Add some speed to it. Goes to the track that he wants and stops. One thing about our turntable, it's got an automatic indexing. It locks in place, and you get you don't have to really be super precise when you're moving from track to track. It gives you a little bit of delay before it moves on to the next track. So he's going to move the track over to the Union Pacific engine now. He'll drive that onto the turntable. And what's really convenient about DCC, it's all one controller. You don't have to look for the switch on your control panel. It's all right in front of you. It's just numbering sequences. With our easy command, you can do up to 10 different things off of the controller. Basically, right away. So this is a really good addition to your yard. You can have stage multiple locomotives. And that's one thing about model railroaders. We seem to collect more locomotives than we do anything else. I can't say that's true for everybody, but
very nice.
It seems to be. I'm an O gauge guy, so that seems to be my case. I have a lot more locomotives than I do rolling stock. I think if I made a train of each one, it'd probably be 2 cars long or something like that. So if that. Rounding up new and coming in products is our Easy Street items. We have a few new cars that we announced last year.
Sorry, Larry, just a couple of quick questions. Not sure if you know offhand, but if not, we could answer them at a later time. Do you know
Sure.
the length of the turntable by any chance?
The dimensions will be, I don't know off the top of my head, but they're in our catalog and they're on our, I can look it up real quick. Give me a second here. I go onto our website, and there should be a diagram.
We should have the length in the description as well.
Should be in the description, right?
But good question. And will there ever be a larger turntable available? I think you have one in N scale and now HO scale.
We've had both N scale and HO. We did the HO and analog with the option to upgrade to DCC. Okay. Now we've upgraded to. So the turntable itself takes up 14 inches in diameter, and there's a little outjutting where the building is. The actual turntable itself, where the locomotive rides on, is 10 inches. And you could use this for both HO or ON30 if you change the building on the, like I said before, it's a gauge thing. It's not, the building's going to be HO scale, but you can put an O scale building over top of the HO building and make it an O scale layout with narrow gauge.
Very cool. Thank you.
No problem. So Does that answer the question? It's one. There's a diagram, an actual diagram on our website.
I think he just meant there's one size HO turntable.
Right, one size HO turntable. I don't have any immediate plans to change, to make a bigger turntable or a smaller turntable. That's what we have at this point. So
okay, very cool.
We have 3 new, like I was saying, Easy Street cards, an O scale. Easy Street is a street system. If you're not familiar with it, you guys do great with that, don't you, Kenny? There's the summertime Hawaiian shave ice.
Very cool.
There you go.
Actually, so I went to Hawaii on my honeymoon, and the shaved ice is an actual real thing.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Very popular in Hawaii.
I actually put the Hawaiian slow children at play there. If you can see that,
Very cool. Neat.
Kaiki at play or something. That's and then we have the animal control truck. And then finally, we have Rusty's auto salvage. So tow truck there.
Very neat.
So that's that winds up what we're doing for new products and coming in products. I'll go over some. Let's move on to Thomas now. I have my vice president of marketing. Doug Blaine recorded a video. We all can't, it's the pandemic is not allowing us all to be together all the time, but with technology, we can share some things that, so I had him pre-record a video for us.
I'd love to see him. I hope he's doing well. I haven't spoken to him in a while. So
we're all doing well. Yeah. So it's, got to get to the right screen here.
We got to get the whole Bachmann crew on next time.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. We could, as long as we all have laptops and an internet connection, we can easily do that. So give me 1 second here. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this program. This is the first time I'm using.
We got a lot of people excited for Thomas. So.
Okay. So. All right. So I'm going to share my screen.
And shout out to Joseph Olson. He's a huge Bachmann Thomas fan. Yeah, I know he's really excited to see what's going on. And he has a great YouTube channel that really promotes the hobby. So kudos to him.
We have a tremendous Thomas line. We have 146 total Thomas items in our line with 92 HO. 11 narrow gauge characters, 11 N scale, which is going to be their new scale for us, and also 29 large scale. So we cover we constantly add new characters each year, new paint schemes to the rolling stock. So let's hit off the video here. So let's go.
For the people asking about G scale and O scales, we will get to that, but right now it's just going to be our Thomas portion. So hang in.
Right. Exactly. Here we go. You seeing the video okay?
Thanks, TrainWorld, for having Bachmann Trains on Facebook Live tonight. I'm Doug Blaine, Vice President of Marketing here at Bachmann, and we have a bit of a product reveal for you tonight. No, this is not it. We'll have something else for you, but let me flatten out my ears and we'll get going. This is Origin James. We showed him last week on Facebook Live. And this is how James appeared when he first came to the island of Sodor before he received his shiny red paintwork. And so this it's an early appearance of the character and goes perfectly with our LBSC 70 Thomas that will also be introduced this year.
Pretty sharp looking, isn't it?
SC is London, Brighton, and South Coast. And Thomas appeared in green when he first came to Sodor. So if you have the Thomas green and James in Origin black, you will have a great pair for the start of the Thomas and Friends series. Also coming your way in HO scale later this year are 3 flat cars with crates. We announced these previously. These will be out this year. This is a crate with Sodor Steamworks on it in a green paint scheme. We also have a Brendam cargo and freight red flat car. And one more, which is the Brendan Bay Shipping Company with a black logo and a gray colored flat wagon. So those will be out later this year. And just some great extra rolling stock or wagon equipment for your Thomas & Friends Railroad. Also new for our Thomas line in N-Scale is N-Scale Annie and Clarabelle. These are actually already in stock and shipping now. And these will go with our new N-Scale Thomas and Percy that will be out later this year. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a cart before the horse with the rolling stock coming out first, but I assure you Thomas and Percy will be on their way soon. And I also wanted to show you also in stock, we have N-Scale Troublesome Truck number 1 and Troublesome Truck number 2. So these are, again, available now in stock. And then I have painted samples of 3 fuel tankers that will be coming out later this year. We've got the oil tanker, the water tanker, and the fuel tanker. So again, a great way to expand your N-Scale layout with some additional wagons in N-Scale Thomas and Friends. And before I show you our latest version of large-scale diesel, which is still a pre-production model, I did want to let you know that our 2 previously announced models will be delayed until 2021. That is the HO narrow gauge Peter Sam locomotive, as well as the HO scale Daisy. So we still have development work to do for those, and unfortunately they will not be ready until 2021. Also, what will be ready in 2021 is large-scale diesel, and here's his latest version. Again, this is still pre-production. He's not painted, but I wanted to show him off a little bit more, maybe give you a little bit more detail than we were able to show you last time on the Facebook event. But he's coming along nicely, and we're looking forward to bringing you diesel for 2021. Look at that, a 360 turnaround. So there's large-scale diesel. Thanks again to TrainWorld for having us and allowing us to show our Thomas and Friends products to our Thomas and Friends fans. It's been a pleasure to be with you this evening.
Okay, that's from Doug Blaine. He's the man for Thomas. That's one of his projects. He takes care of all the licensing for Thomas, and he picks all the characters and works with the licensor to get the product perfect for it. So
that was excellent. I got to send out an email to Doug and thank him for that. And that was an exciting portion. It's funny. A lot of times we glaze over Thomas, but
right.
I mean, looking at the comments, people love Thomas. They're going crazy for it. And
I do have the N-Scale Annie and Clarabelle here. Here's Annie.
Very cool.
Give you a little bit closer look.
And you'd be surprised how many, Thomas fans model N-Scale. You think it would be for a larger scale to get on the tracks, but there's a lot of Thomas fans out there.
People had asked us many times, but there was another company who had the license for a while, and so we couldn't do the N-Scale. So we offer more Thomas electric trains than any other company has ever offered. Even there was some company in Hornby used to do it. They've since exited out of it. So we have one of the troublesome trucks here. So yeah, a lot of detail for a little N-Scale item.
Very cool.
Here's the other troublesome truck. He's hiding from me. My big fingers here are hard to get these little items on. But surprisingly, we have this thing called an easy railer. I didn't. If you have a hard time getting the smaller scales on your track, it's a little ramp. I'm sure you guys sell a ton of them. They're just back in stock. I should have brought it out to show, but it's little plastic ramp that snaps on top of the track, and you just basically put your train on the ramp, and it slides down like a sliding board right onto the track, and you're able to assemble your train very easily. We have another version that's a little more extravagant. It's got the powered re-railer. So if you have a locomotive, for example, a GG1 and N scale, 20 wheels, try to get all those on the track at one time. You put this on the track, it actually applies power to the railer, and it rides right onto the track. It's pretty neat. You have both of those, I'm sure, in stock. So
cool. Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it, and that new Thomas is going to be really special, and the James too. So it's really neat to see everybody excited for the products that you're coming out with, and I think it will be a great addition to everyone's layout.
So yeah, one of the things, like I said, it's like Christmas beginning every week here. I get a shipment in, so I get to see new things that we've announced. You know, I do a project, and then sometimes I'm on to the next project. Kind of forget how nice some of these things are. We did 3 new road names in our SD40. I just got samples of these. One of these would be, this is the first time we've done the National Railways in Mexico. That's a sharp looking paint scheme, isn't it?
Very cool. Very cool.
So
neat.
Yeah, there's a whole 3/6. A lot of detail, a lot of color. Pops right in, you know. We got that. We did a Sioux Line version, and we have a Conrail version coming in this year. This is a new grain hopper that we're doing in both HO and N scale, Scholar. I think this is going to be a home run. One thing about this, it has yellow trucks. That's the way they are. So we made yellow trucks on them too. Here's the N scale version below. Pretty neat to see them both next to each other.
Yeah, it's very cool.
We do have a couple of the things in our product announcement I'll show you at the end of the show there. Let's see if there's anything else I have here that I haven't shown yet. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to, somebody wants to marry an engine. Who's that engine? I know there was somebody earlier that had the Charger as their face profile picture for Facebook.
Very cool.
These are coming soon. I don't have an exact date when they'll be in, but this is a very complicated engine. It's got a lot of features to it where it's taken a little bit of time to produce them and get everything right. So everything's over there. We finalized the coder settings and all that, but it's a sharp looking. There we go. Oh my God, Charger. Yes. Yeah. They'll be here this year. They'll be here in the next couple of months. So
yeah, and I will say I saw James on the threads before. James Wright, JLWII 2000.
Right.
He's gonna drool over this engine.
Oh man, yeah, these are something else. This was a really big challenge to get all the features of this locomotive. This thing has 10 lighting functions. It has strobes on the top. It has a lighted destination board that actually lights up, not just print, there. So each locomotive that number has a different destination on the board. And the one cool feature about the Charger is the corridor work area lights up, and this is a grid. I mean, a venting grid. So because there was all the radiators inside the cooling radiators inside the locomotive, and the light shines through. And somebody's covered there we go, James. So this was a really hard feature to reproduce because of such the fine detail of a screen. When we thought about doing it in a metal screen, and it was hard to keep the metal from warping. It was also very fragile. So what we wound up doing was, it's actually a clear piece of plastic with the printing of the screen over top of it. Once you turn, and we also put a graphic inside of the interior of the locomotive. So when that light comes on, you can see that. I was actually out in Colorado. I was on this locomotive. Got to record the sounds with TCS at the TTCI train testing facility in Pueblo, Colorado. It's really cool. It's like a big train layout. So a big loop of track, and they have multiple sidings. They run the trains at full speed and differing loads, and they can test just about everything. They have catenary set up out there for the electrics, and it's a really exciting place to see. It's not something you can just visit. You have to have security clearance to get in there, but they were able to let us in. So
very cool.
So now I
and actually, I just want to say that Larry is kind enough. He wants to come back here once they're going to be shipping and coming out to everyone, and we're going to do a video
charger,
or
everything.
Charger day.
There'll be Charger Day. We'll be going over all the features of the locomotive, from top to bottom. It's like I said, it's got a ton of features, 10 lighting functions. That's one of the. I think we were the first ones to do that many lighting features on a locomotive, production locomotive. I had to really stretch the design of the decoder to get it to work. It's got all kinds of sounds. We recorded for 2 days on that locomotive. Every sound that it makes: air, hissing, generators, cooling fans, the prime movers, startup functions, the startup features, brakes, emergency brakes. Everything was done. So.
You say like fallish, maybe?
Yeah, it should be early fall, I think. So
okay, cool, very neat.
I know COVID has caused a little bit of delay on this, and also the detail and the complexity of this locomotive. But like I said, as soon as we have I'll get a sample flown to me. We'll start putting together a feature video, and I'll share it. I'll do it live with you as well when they're just about ready to hit your stores. So.
Very cool.
If you don't have them on order already, you better get them on order. We're selling. They're selling fast. So, TrainWorld's got them. Great price. Go on their website right now and place your pre-order.
Whoever's calling us at 6:30, we can't take your order yet. Tomorrow morning.
Use the website. It's a lot easier. Just call and click and put your credit card in. You're ready to go. The other thing I want to share with you was our new product announcements that we announced, in case some of your viewers didn't see it last week and a half ago. And I can talk about it a little bit more because we only had 10 minutes to talk about it that time. So let's start that. Let's see. I'll share my screen here in a second.
And thank you everybody out there for commenting. This is great. We have so many viewers attending, watching, and I know people are asking about G-Scale as well. I think Larry's going to touch up on that.
I'll touch on it. I can talk about that before I go into the thing. We have a couple new. Well, there's one new G-Scale announcement in this, but I'll talk about it after I do this screen show here. So these were our NMRA product announcements. We start off with HO scale. That's our most popular scale, 1 to 87th. And we have a 060 with sound. We have 5 road names available for this. This will be WOW sound value. Again, a full-featured sound set. It'll have 8 whistles, I think 5 bells. This will have chuffinity in it, which I was talking about before, which is the feature where it varies the chuff intensity and frequency as it rides. You don't hear the same thing over and over again. Doesn't sound like a machine gun. Sounds like the real locomotive. I believe there was over 1,000 chuff recordings, different chuff recordings, so they could put this together. And when you put in the random factor, it gives you pretty much almost an infinite sound set. So they'll be available in B&O, Jersey Central, New York Central System, Pennsylvania, and Union Pacific. And you notice they'll have slightly different tenders, slightly different backup lights and headlights for this locomotive.
Right.
So, and diesel lineup will have the FT locomotive. We have that in Santa Fe. Again, this is a WOW sound value. This will have the diesel horn, which will be 8 horns to choose from, 5 bells, all your automatic sounds that you hear, your generators coming on, cooling fans, all that good stuff. And have lighting features, so will the steam engines. You'll be able to control the motor and lighting functions. DCC. You know, when I first started with Bachmann 13 years ago, DCC had been around for a while, but most of the operators were still using analog. But once you put sound in a locomotive, it's incredible what you can do with the DCC. And it's nice that the DCC is a universal system. So you can run our trains with other manufacturers. You can do a different control system. You're not stuck with, one control system and only able to run your trains. an N scale HO, ON30, large scale. They're all nice. It's a nice way to do that. So for the FT locomotives, we have Santa Fe, New York Central, Lackawanna. That's a nice sharp scheme, isn't it?
Very nice. Very nice.
Southern and Western Pacific. That'll wake you up.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
It is cool. Yeah, you don't. That's an older scheme. You don't see that one very often, but it exists. Usually see the silver and orange paint scheme with Western Pacific. So, we have a reissue and it's a reissue, but it's an upgrade. We have in our Spectrum line, we have our K4 locomotive. We did 2 years ago. We did the Streamline K4, and with the Wow Sound, we introduced a Wow Sound package. This is the full Wow Sound package. The difference between the full Wow Sound package and the Wow Sound value is not a tremendous amount. I don't know if some of your viewers are familiar with Audio Assist that allows you to guide you through programming steps without getting out your manual. You can adjust volumes and change your whistles and bells and stuff without the need of using your CVs and stuff like that. So this will have Audio Assist in it. The Wow Sound value will not have Audio Assist, but pretty much everything else will be included in the Wow Sound value. So, and it's got the Keep Alive feature too. So if you have dirty track spot or a bad section, it'll coast over that area and keep on running. The K4 will have 4 different road numbers and 2 different pilot styles and headlight lamps. So this is the modern, the later version with the steel front to it, and this is also, we have 4 different numbers. One thing we did check, we've done the K4 several times. I wanted to make sure the K4 was one of the, if not the largest locomotive numbers on the Pennsylvania Railroad. So there's no real reason to duplicate the numbers we've done in the past. So we made sure we checked all the previous production, went back in all my catalogs way back, and made sure we didn't duplicate any numbers. So there's 4 new numbers. So if you have some.
Smoke on that K4?
What's that?
Smoke with that?
No, it doesn't have smoke.
No smoke. Gotcha.
So smoke is controversial. I mean, it does make a mess because it's once somebody ever comes out with a non-oil based smoke fluid, it'll be great. So once it gets out on your locomotive, it gets over everything, gets on your track. It's a neat feature, but it also makes a mess. This is the earlier version with the slat pilot, and this is the other version. So we have 4 numbers in total. Moving on to rolling stock. This was what some railroads did to convert their regular 52-foot flat cars into carrying lumber, center and beam flat cars. They later made bigger. Well, they may have had them at the same time, but this was a way to utilize their 52-foot flat cars. They put the center beam in it and the bulkheads and added lumber to it. So it's a prototypical picture. We're doing the same thing. I don't have test shots available yet, but I do have some illustrations showing what they'll look like. They'll be in 4 road names: Canadian National, BC Rail, Northern Pacific, and Burlington Northern. The next freight car we have is our offset streamlined cupola caboose. This has been in our line for many years in our sets, and we did some tooling upgrades, added window glass, added some details. These have our premium Mark II Easy Make couplers on them. So they're just like our Silver Series freight cars, metal wheels, metal blackened wheels.
Very neat.
We have very nice paint schemes on these as well. Burlington Northern, the Wabash. This is my favorite, I think, the blue with the safety stripes on the end. If you can see the yellow and red safety stripes on the end. Norfolk and Western, and Grand Trunk.
Very neat.
We got these. These are new. We did bridges last year. The girder bridges for Easy Track. We had bridges in our line, but you basically had to modify the bridges. So I decided, let's make it easy, like your Easy Track says, right? So I put connectors on the end of the bridges, and they snap right in line with your Easy Track. So we have 4 railroads. I'm sure this is going to expand over the years. We have 3 railroads, excuse me, and then we have 1 generic that you can use for any railroad. So we have Santa Fe, Union Pacific, Pennsylvania Railroad, next time take the train. We got a disgruntled little guy in traffic there. He's not too happy. So most of the time the train is faster than traffic, but anybody knows going into New York, it's a traffic jam going into Penn Station sometimes. You sometimes sit on the track for an hour waiting for all the other trains to go by. So
that's funny.
This is a decoder we did last year. This is to expand our DCC line. Last year we did a trackside decoder, which basically will turn your existing analog switch, easy track analog switch, into a DCC switch. If you're going, like I showed with the DCC turntable video, it's much easier to be able to just press a button from one controller, and you can also program routes and stuff like that if you have each of the of your turnouts controlled by a decoder. So each of our analog switches comes with a control box that looks similar to this, but it has a slide switch on it. This will have a push button switch that'll be used for programming the decoder. Once it's programmed, you'll be able to control the turnout from your DCC controller. And it can be used in multiple scales. So we had DCC switches in HO, but we never were able to introduce them in N scale because of the amount of electronics and the switch that you had the programming switch. It was just bulky and didn't work out for us. So this will be, if you have N scale and you have a DCC layout, all you have to do is take your existing control box and plug this in place of it, and you're ready to go. So I'll do some videos, demonstration videos on this when this product comes in. But it's a real simple solution. Doesn't require, a lot of wire. If you have these control boxes on your control panel already, you just unplug the existing. You have plugs that go on the sides for going to your easy track. You just unplug them, plug them into this, and they'll be ready to go. Perfect. So now for N scale lineup. Hudson locomotive. How about that? New York Central Hudson locomotive.
People are excited about this. They've been.
Yes, I know. We actually, this got announced a little early because we did some magazine advertising, and it got released before we wanted to. Well, it didn't get released before we wanted to.
I think I was the first one who complained about that. I opened I think it was Model Railroader, and I get the magazine every month, and I open it up. I always read the articles, flip through the pages, and I go to the back page. I go, I don't even know about this. You guys didn't even tell me. So I frantically, I had to reach out to Rich, and I had to get the prices. I had to get everything up and going. But this is a dynamite release. I mean, I think this is brand new tooling.
It is completely brand new tooling. There's, except for a coupler, that's the only thing that's not going to be brand new tooling. So it's top to bottom. We did a lot of, we had the Bible of the Hudsons. We were looking in the research book, got all the drawings, everything's spot on. This will be available in 4 road numbers, and they were delivered in one lettering, and then they later changed the lettering to this. This is called the Gothic style of lettering. So we'll have 2 road numbers in the Gothic and 2 in as delivered. So
we'll have DCC and sound.
You'll have DCC sound. This is Soundtrack's Economy, very robust sound system with a number of choices of whistles. I think there's 16 or 17 whistles that it comes with. One thing I did with this, I selected, this is the default whistle is the Hudson whistle. It's the actual model that was used on the Hudson, but the Hudson had a 6-chime whistle. So I chose all 6-chime whistles. I think maybe there was 1 or 2 5-chime whistles if they didn't. So it sounds, you can choose if you don't like the exact sound of the Hudson one, you can switch to a different whistle, but they're all, close, should be, it's not a single toot horn that you would hear from a little switcher or something. It's definitely a robust whistle coming down the tracks there. So again, you'll be able to control the sound, the lighting, the motor speed. It has a really good slow startup speed. Testing it, I'm real happy with the performance of the locomotive. So
yeah. I will say, if you're an N scaler, you got to be so excited right now. I mean, there's so many good products coming out with an N scale. DCC and sound is like the latest big thing. So I'm really glad you guys are really pushing the N scale line and creating new products. So this is awesome.
Yeah. So again, this is one of the numbers, 5405. That's in the Gothic scheme. 5420 will be in the as delivered scheme. Now, we probably, people might ask, we're doing the box puck drivers first. We'll do the skull and drivers maybe at a later date, but the numbers that are on this locomotive were all these drivers. So 5420, the 5426, and 5445. So that's the big announcement in N scale for locomotives, steam engines, but we also have a nice locomotive in diesels that we want to.
You guys are making people go broke here.
A little more shots of our Hudson here. I forgot I had a couple additional slides. Here shows all the angles, the front, back, sides of the locomotive. One other thing we started including when we did the streamline K4 and HO, we'd like to put an operating front coupler in case somebody wants to double head the locomotive, but many times there was only a single locomotive, and a lot of times, if you see here on the screen, the coupler was in the drop-down position. You can't do that with an operating coupler, so we basically include an extra dummy coupler piece that can replace the operating coupler and give that prototypical look if you want to do it. So
really cool. Congratulations, guys. This is an awesome project, and we're going to be really excited for it. Especially it's New York.
Yeah, New York, right? New York Central. You guys.
There you go.
One of the big railroads, Pennsylvania, New York Central, B&O, all the founders of the thing that's given us modern railroading. So
very cool.
This was an iconic engine. We had to do it. The K4 was an iconic engine for Pennsylvania. So this is one for the New York Central. Too bad there's not a surviving one. It'd be nice to have. Would have been nice to measure it too. I got a little video of a 360 video to show you.
Very cool, yeah. Larry, you're getting pretty good with this computer stuff. I better watch out. You're going to take over my job.
Well, I was in PC tech for a while before I had this job at Bachmann. So.
Very good.
So in diesel locomotives for N scale, I don't have a sample yet, but actually I do. I don't have a.
For the Hudson number, I'm not sure if I could share my screen with Larry as well.
I can't see it at this time because I have the full screen.
It's 53651, 53652, 53653, and 53654. We're taking pre-orders, $259.99 right now. Price subject to change.
Gotcha.
Get your orders in, guys.
Yeah, get your orders in. So this is an N scale announcement. I did have a sample of this, but it was unpainted. So this again will have economy sound system with 16 whistle horns, bells, directional control, motor control, all the fun features you're come to expect from soundtracks. We have BNSF. We did this in the body mold with two versions. We have with and without dynamic brakes. So we have 3 with dynamic brakes. That will be BNSF, CSX. This is one of the schemes that you don't see very often, so we figure we'd do it. This is when they started transitioning to the yellow nose and end of the locomotive because the gray was disappeared and caused potential safety hazard. So then we have the GATX leaks locomotive, and then we have Union Pacific without the dynamic brakes. And this particular locomotive has a unique lettering style. It's called Little Rock. We've done probably hundreds of Union Pacific locomotives over the years in all scales, and this is the first time we've done this lettering style. So you can see that it's a little bit different. Paint scheme is the same color, same striping, but the lettering is a little bit different. Ken, if you have any comments on any of this stuff as you go along and share, I can't see the comments right now while I'm in the slideshow.
No problem.
So if anybody shouts out anything. In the N scale rolling stock, we have Bethlehem steel 100 ton. This sells really well in our HO line. Hadn't been in our N scale line. So this is all new tooling as a coal load. We did it in 5 different road names: Union Pacific, Conrail, Pennsylvania, Norfolk Southern, and this is my favorite, Pennsylvania Power and Lights. Just colorful. It just pops out at you there. So one more rolling stock. I have samples to show you after a slideshow of this. Actually, they came in since this week and a half ago.
They're going to be popular for N scale, right?
Yeah.
A lot for N scalers.
Yeah, we have a lot for everything. We have 5 different scales. We have to spread out our tooling money for all the things that we do. And NHO, ON30, large scale, and Williams O scale. So we had this not locomotive. What am I saying? Flat car before, the center depressed flat car would put a Sheridan tank on it. So I could show you the actual samples after the slideshow. We have 3 different paint schemes in the green, and then we have the green camo, and then the desert camo.
Very cool.
We'll be doing the high cube box cars in N scale as well. This is an HO sample shown, so I don't have samples of these yet. Same paints: Santa Fe, Burlington Northern, Rio Grande, and Union Pacific. We have some N-scale track items. This will be the flashing bumper. We did this in HO. That's the actual one shown. I don't have a sample yet. I'm sure these are selling. The HO version selling pretty well for you, Ken?
Yes.
Very well. It's cool to have this. If you have a railroad where you have sidings with bumpers on them and you need to kind of see which ones have power on them, this flashing bumper will tell you that track is powered. So that's kind of a tool that you can use in addition to a fun feature of the flashing light. So that's the price will be announced later. And this is our over and under figure 8 track pack. Comes with everything but the train and transformer. So just plug in your transformer and you're ready to go. Okay, everybody's asking about large scale.
Yeah.
We have a big announcement in large scale.
All you large scalers.
Everybody listen up.
Get in there.
The biggest scale is the big announcement. We have our -9 locomotive. How about that? People have been asking for this. Aristocraft went out of business, and this, unfortunately, we don't like to see anybody go out of business. It's never beneficial for the hobby in general. The tooling still exists. We were able to locate it, and we'll be running this locomotive in 5 different paint schemes. This is everybody know the Bachmann Ray Buteau. This is his outdoor garden railroad. He shot the video for us. So it's a team effort. We have a couple people in product development, myself. I head up the department, and we have Ray. He does a lot of our research. He's got the biggest railroad library you've ever seen. And my assistant, Mike Tonkinson, he's came on board last year, and he's really learned a lot in a year. He's constantly searching the web, learning about trains. So hopefully the 3 of us are doing a good job for everybody.
And a couple of questions. They're asking about price, but I see price to be announced. So it's
we don't have the price yet. We actually had been trying to locate all the parts of this tool for a long time, and we're not at the point where we know the cost yet, but it'll be announced as soon as possible. We're working on that diligently, and as soon as we'll put it on our website, and I'm sure we'll give it the information to TrainWorld, and he'll have it on his as well. So.
I don't believe there's going to be more than 1 number per road name available this year.
We're not sure about that. We've had several requests. We're looking into the possibility, but I can't promise it at this point. So, but we are looking into the possibility. So,
and
there's
for paint schemes.
The paint schemes will be, this is the Operation Lightsaber. I'm so thinking Star Wars here. CSX. That's the newest paint scheme. This is the newest BNSF paint scheme. The Operation Lifesaver, I believe, is on, I think, 6 different -9s like this, and they're still running today, so it's relevant. Operation Lifesaver just brings a safety program, brings everybody's attention to how big these locomotives are and how much damage they can do if you're on the tracks. I don't know if you've seen some YouTube videos where cars were stalled. They're like a trash compactor. You don't want to be on the tracks. Don't want to be anywhere near the tracks. Not in your car, not near your body. You can get your safety is utmost. We stress that, So play with your models, but not with the real ones. Union Pacific with the flag, this is super sought after paint scheme.
Yeah, people are gonna go crazy about that.
Santa Fe. So
now,
those are.
people are asking about parts. Do you think you'll make parts with these, or just
Anytime we make a locomotive, we make parts, and I know that power trucks are in high demand, and I'm sure we'll have those available in our parts department. One thing about this locomotive, it's got 4 motors in it, 2 in each truck. It's a powerful locomotive, so that's something that I'm sure people that are running them constantly, or eventually everything wears out. You have to keep your maintenance schedule up on all your stuff. So.
And do you know the curved track needed yet, or not yet?
I believe it's in the brochure. I don't have that in front of me.
All right,
I think it's 8 feet.
Okay.
So, it likes it the best. I think you might be able to do smaller in a switching situation, but you don't want to do it.
Bill actually responded already. Thanks, Bill. 8 foot diameter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Billy.
Very cool. Really nice stuff. And just before you go on, I know a lot of people are already asking, okay, you guys are doing the Dash 9s. What about the other engines? But I will say, they just made this huge announcement for the Dash 9. So make sure you get your orders in, because the demand on this engine will base the production off of more runs on different items to come.
We've been in large scale for a while, but our large scale offerings have been largely narrow gauge type locomotives, so 1 to 22.5 and 1 to 20.3. We have one item in our line right now is the Peter Witt streetcar, which is the 1 to 29 scale, which is the same scale as the Dash 9. So this is a new area for us, and if you want us to continue in this scale, support your dealers.
Yeah.
Okay. So
hopefully in the next month we'll get the prices and pictures updated so you guys could order, because there's a lot of buzz around this G scale product that they just came out with. So we'll give you a price and pre-order it. Yes. So I gotta get on Rich for getting us that. So if he's watching, Rich, get TrainWorld the prices so we can start taking pre-orders.
We're anxious to get it as well, Ken. So
Yep.
Most of the products that we announced had prices this year. It's always a challenge. We had 54 new products in this NMRA announcement. That's a pretty good amount.
And just a correction, 10-foot diameter recommended for that Dash 9. So just want to get that out there. And please bring out the GP40s. Tons of G scalers in here. So great to see all you guys chime in.
Feedback. We need the feedback from these events, because normally we're at shows, and that's where we get the majority of our feedback for products. People send me fan mail, hate mail sometimes. But,
I saw a lot of love for you, Larry. Everybody,
that's good. But
Larry.
We're all passionate about it, and what I promise is that as long as I'm here, I'll continue to bring new products in the industry. I'd like to build every product ever made. I just can't tell you when it will be. So you can only do so many products per year, and there's new products coming out. The Charger was something kind of new locomotive. We plan out several years in advance, because it takes time to do all these projects. We kind of sped up. Well, we were able to speed up the Charger because we got so much support information from Siemens. They were great to work with. A shout out to their team out there. Dave Ward, I don't know if he's listening out there, but he's headed the project for us at Siemens. A lot of companies don't want to share their proprietary information, but they shared their engineering drawings with us to get this product super accurate. So that makes all the difference in the world when we're doing something like this, and speeds up the time. Otherwise, we're interpreting drawings, or we're taking photographs and basing the dimensions on known dimensions, and it's very time consuming. So sometimes projects take 3-4 years to get introduced, and we're planning out ahead. So Charger is a little quicker, but we announced it in last year, and now we're delivering it this year. So anyway, filing out the program here is Williams by Bachmann. We have a new product announcement in Williams. This will be the egg liner. These have been very, very popular in G scale. I know it's a little bit of a whimsical product, but you got to have fun. It's what trains are all about, right?
And this is a brand new mold.
This will be all brand new. This will be. I don't know if you're familiar with their 027 streamliners. You've had those in stock before.
Yeah.
This will be based on that size.
Oh wow.
So the observation car ends will be used off of that size. People ask, where did this idea come from? Seems kind of loony, but if you look up in your New York Central history, there was a yard office that was built out of 2 scrapped observation cars. They welded them together. They put it up on a pedestal so they could see the tracks, and it actually exists. So, we took it one step further and put wheels underneath of it, but the egg liner shape existed in a real train. So there you go. A little bit of history there. So we'll be doing this in 4 paint schemes. And a lot of railroaders like to incorporate holidays with they either put little mini scenes up, and so this is a perfect item for that. We do Independence Day, 4th of July, Flag Day. You could use this for President's Day, all kinds of good days. Election day coming up, right? So we have that, and we have the Easter, which is perfect for an egg liner because it's an egg shape already. There's your dyed Easter egg, and Halloween.
Very cool.
The scary face on top, and big train holiday is Christmas, right?
Yeah. And I will say in G scale, when these first came out in G scale, this was like the biggest seller. The amount of engines, the egg liners we sold was incredible. So I can't imagine for O scale, which has bigger numbers than G scale, this is just going to go through the roof.
But the fantasy stuff, people some people like it, some people don't like it. I know when we first did the Girls Train in Williams, we did the reproduction series of the Girls Train. We did the steam engine, which was the Lionel reproduction that they made in, I think, 58 or 59. We came out later with the GG1, and the Penzi fans were screaming at me, "You can't have a pink GG1. You can't do that." But I got to get one. So you know how many you sold when we had those in stock, I'm sure.
And one good recommendation, Rich said Halloween would be great with flickering orange LEDs. That would be cool.
Yeah, we haven't done it yet, so it's a possibility.
That would be wild, Rich.
I like that idea. All right.
Yeah, very cool.
Save Rich's name there. I'll send him a thank you.
Actually, if you do that, people would go crazy. I think that would be.
We did put a flashing light on top of our 2 newest release our G scale. We did a police version and a firefighter's version, and there's a flashing warning light on top. But I understand what he's saying. Flickering means a little more spooky effect, but we could achieve that pretty easily.
Someone asked if these are G scale. They're O scale, but Bachmann.
The illustrations I'm showing are G scale.
Right. They okay. But you do make them in G scale, and they're coming out with them in O scale. So
correct. O scale 3 rail. So that's winds up my product announcement. The one thing I want everybody to know, and so we've been doing this for a long time. We have a newsletter. We send out weekly emails to know what's going on, know what's going to be in stock in TrainWorld. I'm sure TrainWorld can tell you the last couple of weeks. We've been announcing all the new products that have been coming in. You want to stay in touch with us. We have the first information. We'll send it out to you. TrainWorld to keep you up to date as well. But if we send out, now in stock, like we just did this last couple of weeks for a couple of things of rolling stock, TrainWorld's got it. They have it already. We don't send the email until it's in stock. So make sure you go to our website, go to the newsletter link there, just type in your email address and click sign up, and you're there. So you'll be on the newsletter, and anytime we have a new product announcement, we'll be there. So thanks for.
Now, Larry, I mean, this was action-packed. You guys had a lot of announcements. There were a lot of stuff to cover, and we couldn't.
My screen back. I hit stop sharing. I just want to make sure it's.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, good.
So there was a lot of product to cover. We couldn't get to everything, so we apologize. I know people are asking to go over certain things, and
I did see one person's comment earlier about they wanted an update on the large scale 460. I'll give you that. They're in production. They will be in production a little bit. We just there we go. Hey, he's got the same first name as me. Hi, Larry. How you doing? So we 460 will have a lot of upgrades this time. We're going to put it there. I know they weren't all listed in the catalog. We're going to have a new gearbox, Pitman motor, an interface board so that you can add any. It'll have a speaker in it, pre-installed, so you can add any sound system or DCC or radio control system. That's one thing about G-Scale. There's a lot of different control systems. So we found that if we put DCC, kind of sometimes hampers the sales a little bit because people don't want to pay for the DCC. They're just going to rip it out and put a radio control system in there. So instead, we've been putting an interface board in it, which allows you to easily hook up to the lights in the motor and the smoke in it and all that in large scale, and the speaker and everything you need, power pickups. And it also has provisions for batteries as well. So I don't have a picture or a sample to show you, but the one thing about that was all the tooling for the tender has been all new retooled. We've made a little more scaled details. I do have a couple of the things that I showed you in that slideshow that I can show you actual samples so you can show you how far along we actually are. There's the Hudson. How about that?
Very cool.
So, I gave a pretty thorough pictures, but to have it in your hand, actually see there, it isn't vaporware.
Product, you create a sample first. How does that work?
Well, first things happen. I may have a sample. I thought I had one here. Excuse me for a second. No, I don't. We get a paint sample first. Usually it comes without trucks. This was actually a paint sample.
Very cool.
But they did include everything with it. So, this is my first opportunity. We have several opportunities to fix things. The first thing we do is do an artwork sheet. And let's see if I can find. If you got a second here, I'll see if I can pull one up on my screen here.
Yep. And all these products that we discussed today, you could shop online, TrainWorld.com. We carry all of Bachmann Williams products, so we have our shelves stocked to the brim with it. So.
Okay, and we have, like I said, the artwork sheet's the first chance I get to look over things, make sure the colors are right. We have to specify every single thing on this freight car. We have to draw the diagram out with the actual graphics. We have to put all the lettering, all the numbers. I can show you close-ups there of all the markings. Have to show where it is put on the model. Each color is specified. I don't know if you're familiar with Pantone colors or RAL colors. There are actual universal color codes that you specify each color individually. And then we get the paint sample like that, and then double check to make sure everything's correct. That's our last chance before it goes into production. But then I get a final sample right before the product ships to us, and if they made any mistakes in the production, I catch it then. So here's one of the end scale with the tank.
Oh, very cool.
So.
And scale is going to be exciting.
Yeah. So that's that, and I already showed you the about the bridge. There's the bridge in HSO. So I know your viewers probably want to get to dinner soon, but one thing you want to make sure you start making your Christmas list. I'm trying to do that now while the things are in stock, because if you wait to the last minute, TrainWorld will be sold out, and so will we. So don't wait. Order now. It's been actually the demand, because people are stuck in their houses. I'm sure your phones are ringing off the hook, aren't they, Ken?
They keep on ringing tonight.
Yeah, they keep on ringing. They want to order those Hudsons and stuff. So, but you're stuck in the house. What can you do? You can't get out. You can't go to sporting events. You can't do a lot of activities with people. So you have to go to your layout. It's time to do it. So very good. Again, thank you for this. I'll see you as soon as I get the charger samples, maybe sooner. If I get some other samples in, we'll launch another show of things that are in stock. So anytime, I'm open to the invitation. So
thank you very much, Larry. We really appreciate it. And we're getting all these new announcements up online as we speak. We may not have pictures yet. We're adding the pictures hopefully this week if we can. And probably
just the pictures. If you go to our website and click on catalogs and brochures up in the upper right-hand corner, you can download the brochure.
Yep. And we'll also be sending out an email with all the items that you can order, the N-Scale Hudson, all the Dash 9s later on, all the great product they announced. So we'll be sending out emails. And Larry, I thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. We had a great time. And I see the amount of people on YouTube and also on Facebook. So we really appreciate everyone for commenting. It was fun, exciting. Everybody was nice, generous, kind, and had some great questions. So we appreciate all the feedback that we got today. And
if there are follow-up questions, sorry to interrupt. If there are follow-up questions about products, go to our Ask the Bachmann board. We'll do our best to answer the questions there. We have it, by scale. You just start a thread, or there might be an existing thread for a product. You might find your answer there, or you may. Hi, Brian. I remember going out to the big train show. That was a lot of fun back in the day. So, Ontario, California, always good weather out there. So, yes, but go to the Ask the Bachmann forum and click on there, and you can search around for answers. You can also post questions, and we'll do our best to answer them there.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Shop online at TrainWorld.com. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bachmann Trains. We really appreciate it tonight.
Thank you, Ken.
Good night.
Have a good night. Stay safe.